Heather.
Hey, Steven.
You know what we should do?
What should we do?
You know what we should do.
Ooh, say it.
We should get into it. That's Heather.
That's Steven. Let's get into
Am
Am
I
I
the asshole? Am I?
Is it me?
Or is it?
Me?
I could be. It could be.
Oh.
Heather.
Hi, Steven.
Heather.
Hey.
Are you the asshole?
Oh, 90% of the time, yes, it's me. It's me.
I also feel like that. I also feel like I'm the asshole because we've not updated a podcast episode in quite some time.
We are so sorry, y'all. Life has been lifing, and I'm sure some of you know we live in the great state of Florida where laws
It's no
are
longer
lawn.
great. It is the state. That's it. It's a state.
Yeah, it's a state. It's not great.
It's barely that.
Right. But life's been lifing, and we could be here all day talking about the shenanigans that we've gotten into over the course of the last 90 days. But let's keep it to like this past week. So, Steven, how has your week been?
You always okay, so mid deep in summer camps, building things for SpongeBob the musicals. Had Descendants the musical this past. Fairy Tale Courtroom is coming up. We've been very busy.
Wait, Fairy Tale Courtroom like RuPaul's Drag Race?
Kind of.
Okay. That's
kind
fun.
of. Not improv, but scripted.
Got it. Okay.
And then Nightmare Before Nutcracker. We've been working on all of these things on top of the day gig, on top of living in Tsunami Land where it rains every freaking day, where I had to come home today driving through a wall of water. And worst. I tell you, thank God I drive a Jeep because shit be flooded all over the place. I was like, I feel bad for low riding cars.
I literally just bought last weekend. It was the same day we went to Mimi's. No, it was a Friday. Anyway. I bought 4 brand new tires, which I've never done in my entire life. I typically am the girl that goes to the hood to get my tires. I'm like, that one, 25, throw it on my car. But
girl,
coming back from St. Augustine in June, it's July now. Coming back from St. Augustine last month, my tires were just not gripping right. And it was rainy and I knew the season was going to be shit. So I was like, Heather, be a big girl. Just buy 4 tires and Goodyear will come to your house and put them on for you for an extra $30.
No
and
shit.
Then also, the Goodyear site uses the magic afterpay. So I afterpaid those babies. Ow. God bless buy now, pay later. It's the best for big purchases. It's the best. It's the best. So good.
Maybe I should consider that for some fun things.
You should.
So how much did you spend on your tires? How much did you spend on tires?
That was a lot.
Well, let's see. I'll compare what last time I upgraded not too long ago. We'll compare prices. How much?
It was higher than 500 and lower than 700.
Bitch, multiply that times 4. I paid $2,500.
Bitch, I would be Flintstone in my car all motherfucking day before I ever paid 20 for tires. Bitch, you're gonna Fred Flintstone. I for Express.
So I
don't care.
It included the alignment and an oil change.
Okay.
And I get 5 tires because of the Jeep.
Okay.
And they weren't basic ass bitches. I'm not getting. I had tire envy for far too long. I needed. I needed meaty tires. I needed tires that looked good on a Jeep.
And the thing is, it's we're at that age now, right? Where it's you gotta just suck it up and pay for good shit. There are times where I'm like, fuck. For instance, tires. I cannot, considering how shitty the roads in Florida are, considering how much it rains and there's hydroplaning, I can't go to the hood and pay Ronaldo $25 for a tire, even though I want to. I gotta, and even the ones I did at Goodyear were the probably second or third tier up from the bottom. But also I'm not doing it for the cosmetic look, where with yours, hell yeah, you want it to look a certain type of way. For me, I'm she already got all the dents and dings.
She
good.
Does.
She don't care.
She does.
She don't care.
She's had a rough life.
That's my girl. She's only been washed twice in 5 years.
Okay, so
it rains all the time.
I've only washed mine 3 or 4 times since 2016.
I will do it in the winter. I'll do it November, December, because it doesn't rain as much then. I'll do my one good car wash. But otherwise, I'm it rains every fucking day here. There's no point.
I just consider it's an outside toy. Outside toys get dirty.
Yeah, you don't shower
Jeeps
your
get
pool.
dirty. Yeah, no. I
Yeah.
mean, you clean the pool. You don't shower it, I guess.
Yeah, you
But
know what I mean. You're not like gonna. So, uh,
also some exciting things that's happening.
yes,
Well, it's more exciting for me is I
yes.
am waiting on a visitor to come to the house.
Who?
I will be babysitting Tipsy for the week. I did it a couple of weeks ago. And Andy went out of town to go see his parents, and he
Mm-hmm.
asked if I could watch her. I said, "Yeah." And then I was like, "Why doesn't she just come and stay at my house instead of?"
Yeah,
And
come
so
hang
she
out.
got to be like all cuddly with cute. They actually cuddled a little this time because towards the end of us
Oh
living
my
there,
God, they miss
um,
each other.
yeah, she sleeps in the bed with me. I've got her own little litter box set up. She's got a
My
like thing.
gosh, she's so
So
happy, baby girl. Oh
I'll
my
have to
God,
send you some of the pictures.
Mama would be balled up in a corner. Like my Jason and I, our friend came over for a second on Saturday, and the door to our bedroom was closed, and that's always her escape route. So she ran that way, and then she looked and she sees Nikki, and then she like kind of crawls back and she comes up in the tree back here. And she's just in this loaf and she goes, "Ah."
Oh, she mad.
And we're like, Mama. So then she jumps off this. There's a little nook right over here to my left, dear listeners. And it's the jut out between the living room wall and the kitchen. It's like a little alcove. So she hid in there. And I literally had to pick her up and just like throw her in the bedroom. I was like, here. She was crying.
Oh no.
And then she paralyzes when she gets scared. She doesn't, she just,
She just seizes up.
she's just like
Hey,
me.
hold this thought just for a second, okay? You people with a dog will know that anytime that there's a let up in the rain, you have to run out there to
Go, take him
see
out.
if your dog is going to do its business. Because I got home and with like, I think we had like 3 minutes outside before it started downpouring again. So
Ah,
I was like
shit.
yelling at I mean, it's raining, it's dripping.
Get
And I'm like,
inside.
no, 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 no. The opposite. I'm like blocking him from
Oh.
coming inside and go potty, go pee pee, go potty. Like, I'm sure my neighbors are like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
What is
As I'm like
happening? Oh my God.
being a defensive lineman trying to keep him from the door. And he's just like, fuck this. I'm short. Everything is getting wet. I walk through the grass and everything's soaked. I was like, the baby.
Boo.
And also,
All
I
right,
think the
well.
lightning is going to strike me at any moment. So if I lose
Oh,
power,
Jesus.
I lose power. It's like a fucking light storm out
It
there.
happens. Anything else good during your week, Steven? Is that it? That's all you got?
We saw Megan. We went and saw
We
Megan.
did see Megan, y'all. We saw Megan, and it was.
Dumb.
I like the first one better because the first one was so campy and just stupid. And this one, like, the action pieces were, you know, whatever. And I'm not going to spoil the song that Megan sang, but when I tell you I lost my motherfucking mind because that particular song when I was in high school, that particular part of the song that she starts with is what we would sing to each other in the hallways as like a mating call. And
Oh
so
my
as
God.
soon we would, oh, I wish I could do it. We'll wait until a year from now. So that first part of what she sang, as soon as I heard it, I instantly guffawed because it took me right back to that memory. And it's just so dumb. And it's like such a wavelength thing. Like what Lindsay and I say, Jason will watch it and he will probably be like, okay. But for a wavelengthy person like me, I hear it and it's like that song is always associated with like really dramatic moments, especially in like Black cinema.
I don't think I know the song.
Oh, we'll discuss offline, as we say at my day job. We'll discuss offline. We'll circle back to this.
Put a pin in it. We'll ping back.
I say that. I caught myself the other day saying, let's noodle on it and come back to it tomorrow. And it came out of my mouth and I could feel my ancestors like pelting me with like rocks.
You've been whitewashed.
I have. We also, we booked our house for St. Augustine. We're super excited. This is like our, fifth, sixth, seventh time? It's our annual pilgrimage. And
this one has a treehouse.
I'm very excited. This one has a fucking treehouse. I wonder who's going to sleep in there. Someone's going to sleep in there. I feel it.
I mean, does it have air conditioning? Because maybe I will. I'll have my own room. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not getting on one of those top bunks. No.
We'll bring an air mattress.
So the last time we had, when we were at the treehouse, stayed in a place that had bunk beds.
Oh,
Those bunk beds were basura. They were awful. I might as well just been sleeping on the floor with some broken glass underneath me because they were so bad.
I can't even remember the last time I have slept on a bunk bed. Like we had one as kids and it was in Glenn's room. So like we would have like our weekend sleepovers, like we'd watch like TGIF and then play Mortal Kombat and then like have our bunk beds. That was our party time. But as an adult, I don't think I've slept in a bunk bed. I
I
don't
wouldn't
think I
recommend it.
have.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, no,
Unless
I'm not bougie.
if there was like a bougie, like imagine there were like 2 queen beds stacked on top of each other. There's an actual proper
Memory
staircase to
foam.
get up there, memory foam, lavish,
You
curtains
said
to
an
close
actual proper
around.
staircase,
Like,
a spiral
yeah.
staircase.
You want me to hobble up that little 3 pieces of wood, throw my leg over and pull myself up?
Listen,
You know, when I was
for that
growing up,
price,
speaking of a sleepover, I went to a friend's sleepover and he had bunk beds and I was on the top bunks. And at that time, we found out that they forgot to put the 4 wooden pegs back into the bunk
no,
beds. So I
Phew.
legit, in the bed, we just fell off the top.
No.
Meanwhile, my friend's older brother was trying to like catch me from falling. But could you also imagine it was just 4 little pegs of wood keeping one thing on top of the other? We lived in a fucking wild world.
We sure fucking did. I was thinking about that the other day, just like all the things we used to do as kids. Like, oh my God, I would never want Mikey to do any of, not that it was like bad, but like I think of him and I'm like, he can't be unsupervised. Like I have to watch him at all times. Meanwhile, when I was 10 years old, I was babysitting like 6-month-old kids.
Yeah.
And I was like changing diapers and feeding at like 10, like 4th or 5th grade. You can tell me nothing. I had 2 earring holes, not one, I had 2. So you can tell me shit. Nothing.
God. I was full on making dinner for the family at 11 because my mom would say, I worked all day, you go cook. And she would yell out things from the den into the kitchen. And I can't tell you how many times I would like cut my fingers. I have scars galore from growing up.
Yeah, that's life. Like inhaling chemicals because I had to clean the bathroom.
Oh, my house was filled with smoke growing up. Like my mom was a smoker. And so I'll never forget, we had a weird house. It was like a circle, but like a Q. In my and my brother's bedrooms, when my sister still lived with us, was in the direct middle of the house, right? So we had a door that went to the den, we had a door that went to the hallway that led to the living room. And to the other places. But we had gotten in trouble so much they took the doors off because, you know, we couldn't be trusted.
God, no.
And I remember stepping on, and the den only went down like 2 or 3 steps, right? And I stepped out, and I just saw a layer of smoke going completely across the den. Like it looked thick. But, you know, growing up in it, I didn't know any difference.
No, we didn't know. Nope. So I'm glad I'm glad your week's been going, Stephen. I'm very glad.
It's going. Anything notable for yours besides Megan?
Yeah, we went and saw Megan. That was a hoot. What else has been happening for me? You know, I'm living. I am going to be in a show with one Miss Ginger Minge next the 12th and the 13th. It is a tribute to Sabrina Carpenter called Instead of Short and Sweet, It's Neat and Petite. So
that's what that is.
I'm so excited because I get to live my Sabrina Carpenter fantasy with one of my besties. So that's exciting. Trying to think what else, you know, it's like life's been lifing. We would be here for like another 2 hours if I talked about all the adventures that had happened since March.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Really? Yeah, it's been now. No, we're not gonna do that. But no, I have been finding what I like to call pockets of joy, POJ, in my life because those who are closest to me know that my 9 to 5 is a little rough right now. So I try to find little pockets of joy. My suitcase is still sitting literally across the room from here, unpacked from St. Augustine. Have I had time to do it? Of course I have. But have I done it? No. From when we went in June, like last month. It's been a month.
Well, that's not so bad.
No, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. And plus, I'm still ingrained from traveling so much for work. I used to never unpack my suitcase because I would get home, have like 3 days in the office, and turn right back around and get on another flight. So I'm like, I'm just gonna live out of this shit because I'm gonna have to repack it. But yeah, so anyway, that's what's been going on in my world. Because again, we'd be here all day if we filled in. But you know, we're here. You're queer.
I'm queer.
Get used to it. It
for now, I might have to go back into the closet soon, and if I don't want to go to a concentration camp or something.
Listen.
So
right,
anyway, speaking of assholes.
Oh, good time. So we decided to do, as our topic today, dear listeners, there is in the magical world of Reddit, which I'm a late bloomer with Reddit. I know a lot of people
Same.
have like loved Reddit their whole lives. Like Lindsay's a big Reddit girl. I've just discovered it and I have to be very careful with it because I will dive so fucking deep. So, for instance, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. I've been obsessed with that show, watching it on Netflix. There's a whole fucking Reddit channel with conspiracy theories
Ah,
and this and this. And it's just this whole thing. And I'll catch myself for hours. Same with all the Zeus shows, Baddies, Jocelyn's Cabaret, all of these Reddit pages, intervention. It'll tell you who died and who's still on drugs. So it's like this treasure trove of just deliciousness. And so one of the most popular pages on Reddit is AITA, which is Am I the Asshole? And so it could be something serious or it could be something so fucking dumb or in between. But Stephen and I were like, you know what? Let's share some of our favorites and we'll pose that question to each other.
So here's the thing is that I couldn't
Yes.
even find some of my favorites because we decided on a topic about 3 hours ago while we were both
Yes.
still at work, and I feverishly tried to find my favorites and I could not. But this was also kind of inspired by, I forget what podcast it was, but it's these two ladies. They have a toddler-based podcast. I sent you in the video. I don't know if you watched it.
No,
But
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
you should watch it because it's fucking funny. And it's basically like, am I the asshole? It's me. Hi, I'm a 2-year-old white female and my mom is whatever. And she cut my food into right triangles instead of isosceles triangles. And it's funny, well written from the perspective of the child, just talking outlandish things.
Sounds very Caucasian. This sounds
It
about white.
is, but it's funny.
However, okay, I trust you.
So,
I save all the videos that my friends send me because if you saw my inbox on both Instagram and Facebook, I showed it to Jason the other day and he was like, that is disgusting. I'm like, I know, but I bunched them all up and I save them for like if I'm in the doctor's office or I'm at somewhere where I have to wait because y'all know I fucking hate waiting. I hate it. I hate it. But anyway, I save it for when I'm waiting somewhere and I just like flip through and it's from like last June. I'm like, haha, that's funny. I burrow it like a squirrel. All right, Steven, do you want to go first? Do you want to ask me or do you want me to ask you?
Oh, let's see. I know I picked a couple of random ones that I kind of thought were interesting that maybe you can have some take on. So, am I the asshole for sleeping naked on the top of the covers to teach my flatmate's girlfriend a lesson? So I, 21 guy, live with my childhood best friend, 22, also a guy, and have done so for 2 years. Up until last week, things were perfect between us. However, he recently got a new girlfriend, 23, and she honestly seems absolutely great except for one thing. She seemingly has a complete aversion to knocking. She and I have quite a lot in common, and I actually like spending time with her. However, it bugs the hell out of me when she just barges into my room without knocking first. Now, she's never walked into me doing anything untoward. I think this person's British. I'm usually just chilling on my bed or studying. Untoward.
Okay, pop off.
Okay. It could be a typo. That too. I don't know. Or studying at my desk. However, on at least 7 separate occasions, she has now done it first thing in the morning if I ask if I want. However, on at least 7 separate occasions, she's now done it first thing in the morning to ask if I want coffee. I sleep naked. Every time prior to the last one, I've been under the covers and she hasn't seen anything. I always point out that she could have, and she just giggles and says, but I didn't. When she stayed over last week, in order to make my point, I intentionally slept on top of my covers. Sure enough, she barges in at 7 a.m., begins to ask if I want coffee, sees my you-know-what. She immediately backed out of the room and didn't speak to me for the rest of the day. My flatmate later pulled me aside and said I was bang out of order, accused me of deliberately exposing myself, and pointed out that I'd threatened to do it before I said just what had happened. Anyway. They're now framing this to others as I'm some sick creep who intentionally got naked and lay in wait of her because that's how I get my rocks off. And I'm kind of seeing how it came off that way. Am I the asshole for doing this?
Okay. So, and I have to take apart, again, I'm not going to disclose what my trade has been for the last 15 to 20 years, but a part of that trade is really thinking things through like that. So I had to literally halfway through say, Heather, nope. You are not a professional right now. Turn that off because That's what I am used to hearing. Anyway, situations. So I don't think he's an asshole because if you set boundaries with somebody like that, right? It's not her house, whatever. Like, don't open doors. Like, I even knock with my own husband. If he's like in the shower and I gotta grab my toothbrush, it's just a courtesy knock, right?
Right.
It's like I don't want to scare you because I would get scared. It's like a little knock, knock, knock. Hey, grab my toothbrush, just because again, I do not want to scare him. It's not me
Right.
being
Or
micromanaging, right? Yeah.
what no, it could be even worse than that. It could be like, say, for the shower incidents, if he started the shower and decided to take a shit first, naked,
Yes.
and then get into the shower.
Correct. Yes.
Like,
and so that's why I always knock. And there's no one in my life, even my nephew, where I will just be like, go in. Like, I always knock just as a courtesy. So if you establish that boundary with this human who does not live with you, who is your person's girlfriend,
yes,
whatever, I don't blame him. But what I would do is I would flip the narrative. So I don't know like when this was posted, but I would go on social media and I would say, hey, so since blank blank wants to run her mouth and say that I'm a creep, here's what had happened. And I would give my side of the story,
right?
and then
It's like,
call it a day. And it's like,
or
yeah.
be like, I'm sorry, why do you keep coming in here hoping to find me naked? And now you saw my dick.
Yeah. And it's like,
how do you know you're not the aggressor?
Yeah. And it's like, I'm not going to change. Like, I pay just the same amount of rent. We are fully consenting adults, unless this person, like if the girlfriend, I mean, I can't even think of anything that would justify it, really. So no, I don't think, dear friend who wrote that on Reddit, I do not think you're the asshole. I think you had every right to do that. You are not in her house. She's in your space. She's disrespecting boundaries that you set.
Yep.
Sleep naked.
Also, on my side, 85% of my good friends have already seen me naked, so I wouldn't.
That's very
care.
true. That is
like
very true.
I
Yeah.
will never forget the time. I too sleep naked most of the time, depending on where Q is trying to snuggle. Because if he's trying to snuggle in my crotch, I'm like, I can't do that. I'm like, I'm gonna have to put on some shorts because that's just too much.
Or Tipsy starts going
right on my testicles. But there was a day that, and I at the old house where I lived with Andy, I'd walk around naked all the time. I didn't care.
Yeah.
And then the lawn boy was over one day. By lawn boy, he was legal age. He was of legal age. And I walked out just to get a glass of water, and his eyes darted to the ceiling. And he's like, I was like, oops, sorry. I'm going to go back into my room.
No, so of course, because of my incredibly how would you say debilitating, that took forever. Because of my debilitating anxiety, I always have this innate fear that when I sleep naked, that's going to be the time that someone tries to break into my home, or that's going to be the time where there's a fucking fire where I have to get out immediately, or some sort of emergency is going to happen. It's the same thing when I leave my house to do something so minuscule. So like, for instance, if I want to go get coffee at Dunkin', which is a 1-minute drive down the street, right, left. I look at my outfit and I say, if I got in a car accident in this outfit and had to be on the news, would I be embarrassed? Now, granted, as I get older, the less fucks I give.
Yeah.
So there are times where I risk it and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to wear a bra. I'm just going to put on this giant onesie and I ain't going to wear panties either. And then I'm like, what if I hit somebody? What if I do this? I'm going to be on the fucking news with no panties or no bra in a onesie on Wesh TV.
First of all, for every accident doesn't go on the news.
I know, but I'm paranoid like that. So it just, again, it just depends on, it just depends. But that is always in the back of my mind. Like, what if I have to get up like immediately and do something and just.
Yeah. All right. What you got?
Okay. Let's see. So, of course, we never take anything seriously. So I tried to find some funny ones. This one is called Am I the asshole for not allowing my family to touch my pigeon?
Tried to find funny ones. I really did.
Dear listener, pigeon is not a euphemism for penis. It's a literal pigeon, as in a New York street chicken. dirty ass birds. I'm laughing because I didn't realize the articles are stamped with if they are the asshole or they're not, and this one has asshole stamped on it. So, okay. I'm adopting 2 pigeons soon, and I made the rule that nobody can touch or interact with my pigeon unless needed or permitted. For example, like maybe a quick touch to make sure it's alive if it looks like it's sleeping, question mark, or something, period. This is because I don't trust my family to handle my birds, especially my bigger brother. He doesn't even treat his fish right and is a sadist. He even uses his fish by scaring them because he likes it or whatever. Additionally, my grandparents are not good with animals at all and are getting old. But when I told my mom about it, she said the birds will need human interaction when I'm at school. Also, there will be 2 pigeons, and when I come back from school, I'll shower them with love and attention. And if the 2 pigeons don't get along, they'll just be in separate cages. So am I the asshole?
So I have so many follow-up questions.
I do too.
Like,
I want to see what the comments say.
Parental person who is raising this child is like, oh, pigeons need physical touch all the time. What are they going to do? Like, are you going to go to New York and start cuddling the pigeons on the street? Like, no, bitch. They're birds.
Pigeon lady.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be in this house like the lady in Home Alone 2, just pigeons coming everywhere.
What's the song they play?
Do, 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 do,
so I don't understand the whole thought process of somebody wanting to touch the pigeon. Okay, now I'm a bird person. I've got tattoos of birds all over my body. I love birds.
I am not, so I'm interested to hear your take.
I don't think a pigeon would be a cuddly bird.
No.
Like, I mean, you have your parakeets and you have like your whole family of those things. You have your crows are actually very social and like will allow you to cuddle and things like that. But a fucking pigeon?
Yeah, no.
Is it a carrier pigeon? Because if it's a carrier pigeon, then I would want to touch the pigeon because I'd be like, go tell my brother he's a bitch.
Go tell Steven to eat some pickles. So he's setting boundaries with his pigeons. We talked about boundaries a second ago.
Also,
but also, it's like, don't allow, like, honestly, if I was the mom, I'd be like, fine, you don't want me to touch them? Then I won't touch them. So if you call me from school, because I'm assuming this is a child.
It's got to be call me from school teenager.
And you say, hey, mom, can you feed the pigeon? No, I didn't feed that pigeon because you told me to not touch it. So guess what? I'm not touching your parrot. You come home from school and figure out a way to get home, and you feed the parrot since I can't touch him. I mean, like that.
That would be part of being a responsible pet owner as well.
Correct.
So I don't see anything wrong with that either.
No, child. That's why he was labeled the asshole.
But also, as in his defense, like if he's trying to get these pigeons to be tame and like get used to this world, they're going to live in this house with these people, right? I'll never forget 20 years ago when I was dating Doug, we went to go visit his sister and she had just gotten a brand new little baby Chihuahua. And she had had 2 Chihuahuas prior to that was there as well. And right, these dogs were spoiled out of their goddamn mind. This dog, she's like, no people food for this dog. I'm doing it not this way because of how the other 2 act, blah, 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 blah. This dog was a saint. That's funny.
Really?
The middle dog was called Little Saint, which is funny. But the
so
third dog...
literally a saint. I was like, I've never met a Chihuahua that's a saint in my entire life.
Oh, no, these were good dogs. But the third one, I think her name was Ellie. One day, Doug gave her like a centimeter of a Slim Jim.
Oh, she lost it. She
turned this dog into a demon for the rest of her life.
Give me that Slim Jim.
She saw what's on the outside, and she is not going back. It's like
snap into a Slim Jim.
So the same thing with Coupon. Like he's allowed potato chips and crackers as people food, and that is it, right?
That's it. Yeah.
So last time my brother was here for a hurricane, he called my dog over, hey, vacuum cleaner. And I was like, no. I said, no, he only gets chips and crackers. And he's like, oh. I said, did you give him more than that? And he's like,
oh,
no.
God.
And I left him. I had to go to work that day. He came in from St. Pete. to avoid the hurricane. And I know for a fact he gave my dog food because my dog has been aggressive, not super aggressive for it, but like he's definitely been on my ass. I was like, oh, this is what I was trying to avoid. But I did get a good 14 years of it not being that way. I guess because he knows what a potato chip bag sounds like. All right, you ready for this one?
I'm ready. Give it to me.
Am I the asshole for giving all of my coworkers a different reason for why I have missing fingers? I have 3 fingers missing on my dominant hand. How is it dominant?
Because it's your handy right.
I would think the one with 5 appendages would be the dominant one, but I'm not a doctor.
That was supposed to be this.
A rim shot? Anyway. It's fine. I can type and everything and can manage to tie my shoelaces on most days. And on the days I can't, that's dyspraxia, which I think is a muscle thing. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
However, I won't deny that it looks a bit odd to most people. I only have my 4th and 5th finger. And my hand looks a bit like a child's drawing of a rabbit and not a good one. I'm used to people asking about it, usually after staring for a good minute or two, but I still find it annoying. I really don't get why you'd think it would be okay, an okay thing to ask somebody about, but hey, I wasn't raised in a barn. Usually I nip the question in the bud by explaining the truth and assuming that enough people will gossip about it, the message will spread by the end of the day. It always does. Anyway, I started a new job about a month ago, and I honestly could not face going through the same cycle again. I felt the time had come to not play into it anymore and to make something out of it. I decided to make myself laugh. When the first coworker asked me about it, I completely lied, told her that I chewed them off as a baby. Then decided to tell the next person who asked that I cut them off with a plastic knife at a picnic. And the next person that I was born with 6 fingers and they removed too many, and so on. All genuinely ridiculous reasons, but I'm a good actor and they actually believe my stupid lies. But I did not expect them to. A plastic knife through a bone? But there you go. Maybe they just thought there's no way I'd lie about how I lost my fingers. Within 3 days, I learned that my coworkers have been arguing about the actual reason, it seems. Like a lot of them now actively dislike me for lying to them. I'm probably going to have to make some cupcakes over the weekend with my super cool 3D printed adapted whisk to get back into their good books. Anyway, I told the story to my brother and he told me that I was an asshole because I caused tension within the office of my first day and I made people feel stupid for being gullible and believing my lies. My argument is that I'm not an asshole because what they were asking was rude, albeit common questions, but because I didn't do it with intention of deceiving them, I was just honestly fed up with the questions and didn't think they'd think I actually severed my fingers with dental floss when I was 3. I'll accept my judgment, though.
My God.
So, Heather.
Yes.
Oh, here, I want to throw this. There's a little update on here.
Okay.
Let's get to the part that matters. It's not good to ask just because out of your morbid curiosity. A few reminders for people. I am not a male. I don't know why everybody assumed that.
I assumed she was male too.
I did too. Don't ask people about something that could be traumatic. And also when making cupcakes, always cream the butter. That's on here as well. So, tell me.
Absolutely not an asshole. Absolutely not. Because actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to say that because again, I go into professional Heather and there's a term for what happened to this person. And I don't want to use it because I feel like it'll pathway into people investigating me. And as a member of the CIA, I have to be really quiet. Anyway, no, absolutely not. Because again, it is not anybody's place to ask. Like if I was working alongside somebody and they had 1 finger, I wouldn't even ask. Like maybe after like a good, I would say 2 years of working together, like at a holiday party, I'd be like, bitch, you gonna tell me about your hand? Like, tell me what's the tea with your hand, right? But that's just how I'm house trained is that if I see something, and that comes from, I think, also working in the service industry. Like, for instance, when I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings, I had a man who would come in all the time and ask for me, like nothing weird. He was like an older man, but he had like, he would have to always get like eye surgery and shit. So like his eye would be like crusty and weird. And at one point, my one phobia was involved. There were like things, and like it was so, but he was so wonderful and so nice and
He
tipped
can't
the
help it.
shit out of me. Exactly. So I was like, so ever since that, I would say, like, when you work in the service industry, if somebody sits at your table and, you know, they could have appendages missing, they could have this, that, you can't stop and go, damn, you have to like, like, you treat them like human beings, right? And so I'm on this person's side, right? Like I would never bring it up unless they brought it up to me. And it's
Right.
just this, it's the same thing. I know that this isn't like
Or
necessarily tied together, but like same thing with, I never assume that somebody's gay. Even if somebody is ultra exhibiting, like someone who is male presenting is exhibiting very feminine traits, I'm never going to assume that they're automatically gay. I watch the other straight people make fools of themselves, be like, girl, did you see RuPaul's Drag Race? Yes, mama, house down. And they'll be like, no. And I never assume until you give me that little inch, right? Where it'll be something like, you'll see me at work and see that I'm wearing a Spice Girls shirt under a blazer, and they'll be like, girl power. And I'm like, okay.
yes, that. Give me
Yeah,
a
okay.
hint. Let me in.
Right. But like, no, I do not blame her. That's also something that I would do. And if that, and I've never worked in like, I've worked in corporate environments, but I tend to flock to people who are very unserious. So I feel like we would talk amongst ourselves and be like, girl, what did Jill tell you about her hand? She told me that she got attacked by a leopard at the Bronx Zoo. What did she tell you? Like, it would be, at least with me, more of a kiki than it would like genuine concern and being mean. We would be like, why is this bitch telling us different stories? We need to take her to happy hour and get the tea.
Here's the thing too, is that if say this person told you one story and we're talking and you mention it and I got a different story, my ass is going to stay shut because I'm like,
yeah,
they didn't want one of us to know maybe the real answer, and that's fine.
Yeah. And I feel like just kind of also going through this am I the asshole thread as a whole, a lot of the people who are posting are in their like either late teens or 20s, where they haven't like cultivated yet, or they haven't like really come into themselves, right? Because I feel like anyone who was 40 and older with that would not care. I wouldn't care. I would tell every single person. And then I would get on stage at like a panel and be like, well, you know, when I was in the Civil War and I was manning the cannon and they got my hand, I would just make it a running joke. Like that would be hilarious to make it a running joke. Every time you meet somebody new or every time you introduce yourself, you say a different way that you lost your appendages. Like that's hilarious to me. And I would fully respect that person wholeheartedly, instead of like conforming and saying, well, you know, this act. No, it's nobody's fucking business.
Yeah.
Make up all the stories. And even if she was like my coworker and said it was bit off by Tyrannosaurus Rex, I would be like, okay. Like,
cool. How big was it?
Okay. Yeah, right? Like, okay, I don't care.
So I had in high school a teacher, a science teacher, and she always used an overhead projector to write her notes and everything. Lord. She was missing 3 of the 5 fingers, but I think they were the middle ones. I think they were the middle ones. And so she just said on day 1, she got up there at the front of the class. She's like, hey, this is my hand. I cut them off as a child on a table saw. Moving on. And got it out of the way. Now, I could see it like being a teacher, it's a little bit different because that's a lot of distraction in a classroom, a lot of speculation. But then you have people like my dear friend Sin, who has a one-armed daughter. She was born that way. She came out of the vagina with only one arm.
Yes. And she's a fierce bitch.
She is. And she, like, it's to this point where Sin is very upset at times because she just wants her to one time go, like when there's a situation that's escalating, she goes, is it because I only have one arm? And just to like play on it, you know? And
let me tell you something. I would use it in every single, I would be like, oh, so I'm not getting that promotion? Okay. Right. Guess what? Oh my God, that is hilarious. I love,
Can I tell you,
I love her so much.
Is a spooky performer for certain seasons of the year at certain events in Central Florida, to where like sometimes they're overly sensitive and we're like, oh no, we're not going to give you an extra arm to like carry around with you. Like she's like, but I want
Give it
one?
to me.
Can I
Give it to
have
me.
one? Like, I'm leaning
Yeah.
into this. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
There's a big difference when the person like discloses it to you and says they're okay with it versus assuming they are,
right,
right? Yeah.
right.
So,
Huge difference.
yes. Good times, good times. But no, that person is absolutely not the asshole, and that's absolutely something. I mean, I told kids in like 3rd grade that Mariah Carey was my sister, and they believed me.
I mean, I tell kids all the time when they ask me how old I am, I say 102. And they're like, no, you're not. I said, fine, I'm 103. Like,
Oh
how do
my
you know? You don't
God.
know how old I am. You have
All
no
right.
idea.
No, are you ready for my next absolutely unserious one?
Yes.
Am I the asshole for refusing to do a Titanic-themed wedding? My fiance.
Well, Titanic doesn't end in a good way.
It doesn't. It does not. And there actually was an Am I the asshole that was kind of in pieces. It made sense, but it didn't. But it was Am I the asshole for giving my brother who just graduated from like the Naval Academy a model of the Titanic as a graduation gift. But it was so all over the place. I almost did it. And then I was like, no. So I went with this one. Am I the asshole for refusing to do a Titanic themed wedding? My fiance, 33 male, is obsessed with the Titanic movie and wants our whole wedding to be Titanic themed. I, 23 male, I knew these had to be the
Wait.
gays. I saw this earlier and I didn't read what the sexes were, but I had a whole bit planned out in my head. And I was like, if one of these is a girl, I'm going to be like, oh, baby, I have something to tell you about your man who's obsessed with the Titanic. Because there is no straight man on this planet besides James Cameron who is obsessed with the Titanic. It's a gay thing. Like all the gays love Titanic.
I tolerate it at best. But what were the ages?
33 and 23.
That's a big difference.
It's a big 10.
I mean,
that
just
especially
like
right there.
pop culture wise, like Titanic was
Huge
for us because that double
not.
VHS came out when we were kids.
Yes.
But also, side note, I saw a video the other day that says, "What if Titanic happened in 2025?"
I saw the music.
Not with the music, but it's Rose is getting in the boat, and then Jack and Cal are up there watching her go down.
Kiss, right?
And they start making out, and she starts getting angry to go back.
Listen, Cal could get it. Okay. 23 male, don't really like the movie that much, and I figured that it'd be unfair to theme our entire wedding about something that only one of us cares about. I told him I wouldn't mind some Titanic references here and there, but he started crying and said he wants the whole thing to be Titanic themed because that's the wedding he's always dreamed about. He then stormed out of the house and has not spoken to me.
A wedding that ends in disaster? Okay.
Apparently. He then stormed out the house and hasn't spoken to me since. This was 2 days ago. I feel bad for making him cry, but I still think he's being unreasonable. I spoke to my parents about it, and they said that if I want to get married, I need to learn to make sacrifices, so I should just go along with it. Am I the asshole? And
okay,
then there's a follow-up. So I want to hear your take, and then there's a follow-up. Yes.
First of all, dear parent giving such advice, can you call the other guy's parents? No, tell the other guy's parents the same information, that he needs to make sacrifices and not have an entirely Titanic themed.
That is such an antiquated way to think. And if there was ever a time where actually, no, they probably would have, because my parents loved Jason more than I did. Oh my God, Heather.
Wow.
My parents have always, even though my dad is dearly departed, Jason's always been the favorite, hands down, always been the favorite. So I feel like they would have been like, Heather, Jason's being reasonable. You should probably no.
I mean, I do think that there should be like some like bargaining back and forth. It shouldn't just be my way or the highway. Yeah. And I would respect somebody being like, oh, well, this is what I want for my wedding. And then to have pushback. And I think that's okay.
And like, also, like, read the room. Why? Like, I get that you love Titanic, but like, specify what it is. Do like the grand dining hall, like Titanic. It's just like one of my biggest pet peeves on earth. Great Gatsby themed parties. When people call them,
there's so many things wrong with that book.
So, The Great Gatsby is my favorite book of all time. I know it inside and out. I have like 3 copies on the shelf behind me. It's my favorite book. I have it tattooed. The whole purpose of his parties were a flex for no reason, because he was trying to impress Daisy across the bridge. He did not have the parties because he enjoyed hanging out with people. He did them to show off. There was like just this whole underlying piece. Like it's just a fucked up story. So when people are like, it's a Gatsby party. All right, cool. So that means that you're going to have a party to show off. Multiple people are going to be murdered. Someone gets hit by a car.
Somebody's going to get cheated on. Somebody's,
correct.
yeah. So they're going to,
it's so like stupid. So like a Titanic themed wedding, I don't think that person's the asshole, because when you think Titanic, you think tragedy. You don't think
disaster.
You know, like, yes, there was a love story, but that love story ended in disaster.
So I'm going to end up with a ring all alone. Great.
Right? Or even do like White Star Line, like the cruise company, do like a White Star Line themed wedding, right? But like Titanic itself is associated with people fucking dying in the ocean. So it's like, yeah, no.
Like,
okay, so
okay,
yes,
so could you imagine
that?
Hold on, no, I'm sorry. I'm now just thinking about how the ceremony would happen, right? So would it happen on a boat? Would it be like a stage thing that goes back and forth so the whole audience is rocking the whole time? And I would be pissed if that at some point, that when you're on the dance floor and there has to be a string quartet, has to be that the water does not flood the dance floor up to everybody's knees. Do you imagine?
Oh God, yeah, no, but I don't think that person's the asshole at all. And so the update, these have to be British people, because he said he came round today. If you say you come round somewhere,
that could be British. Southern.
No.
Hello.
Come round. Isn't it like come around? Because like in England, come round is, the girl just come round tonight.
No, but you'd be like, hey, you come round my house later today. I'll help you shoot that Buckeye in the
Do you really think that somebody Southern is going to have a Titanic-themed wedding in current circumstances, Stephen?
Touche. Okay, I retract my statement.
I love my friends from the UK, but this is a very UK thing. Okay, edit. He came round today and said he was sorry for overreacting. It was just something he'd been really passionate about for ages. We've agreed to have a dual theme for our wedding. Titanic and
Pokemon.
Batman/Gotham, because I'm a Batman fan. Thanks, everybody.
Please do not invite me to this wedding.
Have you seen Batman, friend? Like, Batman is nothing but tragedy. His parents die at the circus. You've got the Joker who's doing all this shit.
No, Robin's parents die at the circus. Batman gets shot in the alley.
That's what I meant. It was like the alley after the show. Didn't they go to, his parents went to the circus?
No,
and they got killed in the alley after.
I think they went to like a theater or something. They get killed like walking down the street. No.
I thought they went to the circus and they got out. I think you're making that up.
There's also like 1,000 versions of Batman at this point.
Okay, so do you think this person... Oh, we already talked about it. Never mind.
Yeah, we already talked about that. But yeah.
All right, what's your last one, Steven?
I just think that's a whole wedding in poor taste.
It is. Like, why have a theme? Like, just get married and play the songs. Like, My Heart Will Go On is a weird wedding song, but I would rather hear that than go to a Titanic-themed wedding.
Or na 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 just married. What the hell? Okay. I know we're only doing one more each. So let's see. This one is just weird. Well, okay. I don't know. So one I can relate to.
Okay.
One is weird. Which would you rather?
One you can relate to, one is weird. Can you describe the context of which it's weird?
I'll read you the titles. Am I the asshole for ghosting a man because of a text message I received from his mother?
Okay.
Am I the asshole for walking out on a first date because the guy lied about his height?
I'm going to do the height one only because I have been in the shoes of that first person, but it wasn't the mom, it was the dad. And my revenge was so fucking petty that I don't want to talk about it on a public forum.
Oh my God.
And then, I'm interested to hear this one about the height because that ties into, side note, dear listeners, y'all know how much I fucking hate going to the movies because there's always people talking, doing shit. I've been to the movies twice in the past month. I saw Megan, as we mentioned, and I also saw The Materialist starring Pedro. And that ties into what you're saying with height. So I want to hear this and then I'll tell you about this. And I don't care if I'm spoiling it. The movie was so bad. Like, don't pay money to go see it. Like, bootleg it or watch it when it comes out on like Hulu. Like,
oh my God. Okay.
Anyway.
Am I the asshole for walking out on a first date because the guy lied about his height? Recently, I, 25 female, 5'10", was asked on a date by a guy I met on a dating app. On the dating app, he listed his height as 6 foot. I pay a lot of attention to this all the time for guys' information. I'm going to skim a little bit of this.
Yes.
Because it is kind of a long one. I hate when guys lie to me and try to get laid. For example, a lot of conservative guys in my area will put liberal or moderate on their profiles, but then show up with Trump stickers on their cars because they know women won't sleep with them if they're honest. I hate dishonesty in general. So anyway, chatting with a guy, he asked me to go to a movie. He offers to buy the tickets. I say I'll buy dinner after. I should mention that he's a friend of a friend and he's seen a group picture together. Blah, blah. Small town, all of that. They both showed up to a movie theater. He is the same height as me. We're both 5'10". I asked him about it, and he says he just rounds up to 6 foot 6 foot online because a lot of women filter by height. He says most women can't tell the difference between 5'10" and 6 foot. He doesn't what?
Oh my God, whatever.
He doesn't want to miss out on potentially a great match because of something insignificant. He also says he didn't think it would be a big deal, especially since he's not shorter than me. I told him that I really hate dishonesty, and while I wouldn't have cared about his height if he was just honest about it, I care because he lied. Most of the men I have dated have been like 5'9" to 5'11". I told him I was going home and to not call me again. He tried to get me to stay and said since he already bought the tickets, I should just give him a chance and that he would never lie about anything important. And since it is such a minor white lie, he didn't think it would be a big deal. He did apologize. I still laugh. He told our mutual friends about it, and he thinks I'm a major asshole. He said guys lie about their height all the time. It's not a big deal. I told a few female friends of mine about it, and they had mixed opinions. So I guess I want a better judgment. Am I the asshole for walking out?
No, because it's a pretty big lie, right? Like, just say it. Just get it out in the open. And if you start off like that, then it means you're going to keep doing it, right? And so it's like, if you feel the need to lie, here goes professional Heather, but I don't care. If you feel the need to lie on a dating website about your height, which is a pretty trivial thing if you think about it, it means that you've got something going on inside, internal. So you probably need to work it out with a therapist first, get some confidence. It's like I tell people all the time, you can't, or RuPaul even says, how are you going to love someone else if you can't love yourself, right? But it's true. If you are not confident in who you are as a person, you cannot be in a successfully functioning relationship. You have to like be confident and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm not a skinny girl. I got big titties. I got big hips. It is what it is, right? Where, you know, that to me, that would be a red flag, like immediately off the gate. And like when I was, you know, playing the field, whatever, right before I met Jason, I went on a date with this guy I met on OkCupid, and he was like this Hawaiian guy, very sweet, very kind. And I remember he saw something on OkCupid about, I was like, nope, I don't want kids. And he was like, oh, like, would you ever change your mind? I was like, no. And so like, we go out on this date, we go to watch the fucking Walking Dead. The Walking Dead was like super hot. So we go to watch The Walking Dead at this bar, having a great time. And then I see his phone rings and he was like, oh, that's my daughter. I got to go. I'll be right back. And I was like, wait, what?
You're a daughter?
So he goes and he comes back and he was like, yeah, I've got like 3 kids. And at first I was like, no, daughter, that's probably your wife, whatever. And he's like, no, and he shows me a picture.
You were hoping it was his wife.
I know, right? And nope, he's got like 3 kids that are like 18, 17, 16. And I was like,
oh my God.
I don't mind. Like, I would prefer that over like babies, but like, tell me, like say it off the gate. And even though, you know, like we vibed and like, he wasn't very like accountable. He was just like, yeah, you know, it's just like the same thing. He scares people off. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I know.
Yeah.
So I don't think that person. No. What do you think? Do you think they're the asshole?
So no, absolutely not, because I've been in a very similar situation. Several years ago, I was dating this guy, found him on an app, went to his family's for Thanksgiving.
Do I know this person?
No, and I hope you never meet them.
Okay, good.
I was talking to his sister and his niece and nephew, and we were talking about planning his 30th birthday party.
Okay.
And they were like, why? He's already 30. He had his over the hill party last year. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's weird. And being at the family all alone, further away, I don't even forget where the fuck it was, but it was not close. I was just like, oh, maybe I misunderstood, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So we leave and we get back, and I was like, so you're already 30, and you are sitting here allowing me to help you plan your 30th birthday party again. So I ended it. I was like,
yeah, because that's a big fucking deal.
It was 1 year. It was 1 year, and on paper it wouldn't have mattered, but because
it's still the principle of it.
Lied about it, I said to him, "If you're going to lie about that, what else are you going to lie about?"
Correct.
And let me tell you, I found out what else you'd lie about. Everything, anything.
No.
His work history,
See, you
his
knew.
life, his
you
money,
knew.
because I tried to stay like friends-ish with him after I broke up with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker down the line, because after I dumped him, trying to get attention back to me, lied about his mother dying.
No, that's the worst. You don't do that. No.
This psychopath called me, asking me for advice of what to bury her in.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
I feel like you've told me this before, but every time I hear it,
it's still unbelievable.
It's
unbelievable.
That is sociopathic. Like, that is serial killer behavior. Like, we joke about, like, we could be serial killers, but, like, that is legitimate serial killer behavior, to lie about somebody dying and, like, keeping the lie going.
Yes.
Because, like, let me tell you something. As a kid, Lord, did I make up some lies to do stupid shit as a kid. But the one territory I never crossed over was the family piece, right? And it's like, oh, God, that's horrible.
I couldn't even imagine. So there was another time where, too, he, after, again, we were still friends-ish. This is back when Mr. Sisters was still open. We went to go to brunch. And I said, I'll meet you there, whatever, blah, 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 blah. He's like, I'm going to get a ride. Something happened with his car. I'm sure that was another lie. Something was always, like, not right? Oh, this is the same guy that stole a check from my house and forged a $4,000 stolen check. Same guy.
That guy.
But he literally got dropped off by his mom after she died at the bar. And then he made it a big thing to be like, hey, how's it going? Like, making big gestures to distract me from not seeing who dropped him off.
No, my God, no.
I had a real good time asking him when I found out on Facebook his mom, out of the irony of all, right? The mom was tagged in Easter photos. I'm like, oh, so she's just like, Jesus, she's a zombie now? Like, she came back? So that was some shit.
That's awful.
I bet I still have my text thread, because I don't delete my text threads. I bet they're still in my phone, and I could go back and write a fucking book.
Sorry, we're going to strike this from... All right, we're striking this from the record when you edit this. You have to really strike this from the record.
I'm not saying it.
No.
Just text me. Just text me, because that's a lot of work.
Anyway, okay.
I have to, like...
So I was talking about The Materialist. Are you familiar with this movie, The Materialist, that came out, like, about a month ago?
I've heard the name said out loud twice.
Okay, so it's with Dakota Johnson, who literally, this Home Alone house back here, this Lego Home Alone house, has more emotional depth than she does. You got her, Chris Evans, Captain America, who is so cute, and then Papi Pedro. So in this movie, at the beginning, and listen, I don't give a fuck if you do not want to be spoiled by Materialist. Just stop watching. Thank you so much for watching.
Skip ahead 2 minutes.
Bye. Okay, thank you. So anyway, so in this movie, Dakota Johnson plays a matchmaker. And so she's sitting on a rooftop after she finds out her 9th client's getting married. And her coworker was like, oh my God, have you heard about this like new surgery where like men can literally get their legs broken and they can like lengthen themselves and be taller? And she's like, oh my God, no. So fast forward. She meets Pedro's character at this wedding. She's a matchmaker. She's initially trying to get him to like be in her company so she can make commission. And he's like, no, I want to date you, boring Caucasian, weird woman. And so he's got all this money and he's like whining and dining her. And meanwhile, her scrubby ex, played by Captain America, Chris Evans, is like at that wedding as a server, as a cater waiter. And he's like, you know, hey, I'm still in love with you. So ultimately, she chooses to be with poor Chris Evans over rich Pedro, which I could literally give a TED talk about how motherfucking dumb that is. But Pedro's character reveals to her in the last scene that he's in, like they're in bed together and you see scars on his leg. And she's like, da, 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 and he feels it and he like gets out of bed and he's mad. And he's like, yeah, so when my brother and I were however old, we're rich, we both got leg lengthening surgery. And it's the same surgery that the girl talked about on the rooftop like months prior. And I was like, what? Now, granted, let me tell you, dear listeners and watchers, I would lick those leg lengthening scars like a fucking ice cream cone. The owl from the Tootsie Pop commercial would come out and be like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of this leg? And I would say, how many licks? Anyway, but that leg lengthening thing, I was like, there is no one on this earth who would do that unless you're like a basketball player. Like, no, you just accept your height. Like, you just accept it. Like, no, like
that's a real surgery people can have.
But why would you do that unless you're like 5'1" as a man, like your Cisco height?
I think it comes
Rey Mysterio.
I think it comes to like maybe some like confidence in it. I mean, like I'm not against cosmetic surgery by any means.
No, not at all. No, do whatever makes you happy.
And I think this is just like that. And I feel like people just want to feel comfortable in their own bodies, and I think that's fine.
So Dakota Johnson mentions that in the movie. Her character, she is like, I get it. People do things to enhance. And so she like points at her nose, which is very sharp. And I'm like, okay, got it. And then she points at her tits. And when I tell you, it looked like this.
I've seen her.
And then his character goes, I figured. What did you figure? It's mosquito bites. But anyway, are you telling me that if you had, okay, you got two men right in front of you. You got Chris Evans, like pretty white boy, who is a cater waiter. Nothing against that. Cater waiter, doesn't have his shit together, lives with a roommate, and is like, yeah, you're pretty. Got that. Or you've got Pedro's character, who lives in a $12 million apartment because he says it, and literally is taking her on all these expensive dates. She says her dream date is to go to Iceland. He's like, great, I'll get you a passport. Books the tickets. When I tell you.
No, I'm sorry.
When I tell you. So now I come to you with open legs. Like, please.
No, see, here's the thing, though. Like, I would be extremely intimidated by Mr. Millionaire Man because I have no connection to him. I don't live in the same world as him. Like,
He's so hot. He's giving you money and taking you on trips.
That's just it, though. Like, there's going to be a chance where he's going to be able to replace me because I'm not going to be good enough. There's going to be somebody else. Is it actually authentic?
Fine. That's fine. I'm going to live in the moment because an asteroid's going to come get us in like a year anyway.
That's wishful thinking. Burn. It's not promised.
The ice caps are melting. Live in the moment. Who cares if tomorrow he goes to somebody new? I'm not going to catch feelings as long as you're flying me out to Iceland.
Yes, you will. You're going to catch like, okay, well, I can't have this unless it's like a private island dinner for two because that's what I'm used to now.
And he was like a business transaction. Psst, okay, sign me up. But again, that's 42-year-old Heather speaking. In the movie, I think the girl's like 30. So probably 30-year-old Heather had been like, no, I want to be in love and I want some. Fuck that. 42-year-old Heather would be like, what? Like, you don't even have to touch me. Get that passport. I'll go to Iceland. I'll invite Steven and Lindsay. We'll have fun. You go to your business meetings and we'll like, I'll touch the side of your face and we'll go to bed. That's it.
God. No. That's not.
We got on such a tangent about leg lengthening surgery. Okay, is it my turn?
You have a last one, yes.
Oh God. Okay, I'm so sorry, listeners.
I mean, this is what they signed up for when they started listening. So,
all right, here we go. This is our last one. Am I the asshole for accidentally exposing myself on a work Zoom call? Had an awkward situation happen during a work meeting today, and I really feel like a suggestion by someone else has made me look like some kind of pervert. Kind of sounds like naked guy on the sheets. I usually work from home, and when I do, I like to only dress on the top half. Let's put a pin in that, as we say in the professional world. Let's put a pin in that.
I mean, I've done that.
I like to dress on the top half. Sometimes I even like to be naked on the bottom half, but I always have a blanket.
That's called Winnie the Poohing it. He only wears a shirt. Donald Ducking it. Okay.
Steven,
Donald Duck had a job.
Steven, you're one of my best friends in the world. I would let you see whatever do. Look, I wore pants for you. Like, I just always wear pants because I don't want to ever make anyone uncomfortable.
Well, anyway, it's not the intention that they're going to see it, but keep going. Right? We've got to dive in.
Yes. But I sometimes I even like to be naked on the bottom half, but I always have a blanket wrapped around my waist for privacy. I find it more comfortable and I still look fine in Zoom calls. Sometimes I would wear shorts, boxers, or just pajama bottoms. It's only sometimes when I don't have anything clean or I'm feeling a bit lazy that I go blanket only. Today during the meeting, someone made a joke about people working from home and wearing pajamas. And it turned into this whole thing where everyone was standing up and revealing if they were pajama people or trouser people. A few people were in their pajamas and it was all laughs and jokes. But then when it was my turn to stand up and I had my blanket tucked around my waist, trying to hide my bottom half. But as I stood up, my foot was still on the other end of the blanket and it came down, revealing my naked lower half briefly on camera. I was mortified, and now everyone thinks I'm some kind of creep. I even have a meeting with HR scheduled because of this, and I honestly think I will lose my job. But I really don't think it's my fault. If anyone, I think it's the fault of the people who suggested such an idea in the first place. Am I the asshole?
Is this a male or a female?
Stand by. It does not say.
Interesting.
It does not say.
Okay.
Regardless. Okay, I want to hear your thoughts, and then, baby, do I have thoughts?
So, I kind of think he's an asshole. Only because, and not completely, like I'm like borderline here, right? I'm thinking I would have disconnected my internet immediately.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been like, sorry guys, send a group text being like, hey, my internet just dropped. I'll be back on in just a second.
Or, this sounds wild, I was literally in a meeting last week where somebody, like the person who was leading the meeting, said, all right, if you can be on camera, let's turn those cameras on bright and early. And somebody wrote in the chat, please keep in mind that some of us on this call are, we're introverts. We're not as comfortable with being on camera, but we still have valuable contributions. So just keeping that in mind. And I was like, thank you. So like, that's what this person could have said. Anyway, yes, right. Continue. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's so many things could have happened, but also like, why do you have to show off these things? Why do you have to ask people to stand up? Like, what kind of fucking job is this? I'm like, okay, let me see. Like, no, bitch.
As somebody who is in Zoom and Microsoft Teams calls out of 40 hours a week, probably 35 hours, I have never been on a call where it's different if like, let's say that we were on a call, whatever, and you see the shirt and you're like, yes, flowers, work, turn around. I'd be like, oh my God. But there's never been a call that I've ever been on in my entire professional life where it's been like, stand up and show us your outfits. Like, it almost sounds like a setup. Like, I got paranoid, right? Because it's like, why would you say, all right, pajamas or trousers? Like, that's so inappropriate. And like, again, because I'm a bleeding heart, I go into, what if someone didn't have access to a camera? What if someone doesn't have the funds to buy new clothes and having their camera off is their way of engaging without having people judge them? Oh my God, professional Heather. Anyway, continue. Yes.
But
sorry.
I just don't know why they even attempted to like stand up.
Correct. It's like you have a blanket on. Like, why would you?
As someone who loves being naked, it's like I wouldn't answer the door for the pizza man naked.
No, exactly.
And that's kind of like the same thing. You know exactly what you're dressed like, and you are putting yourself out there as the chance. And is there an update on that? Because I have a feeling that it didn't go well.
Let me see, because I did a screenshot. Am I the asshole? I mean, if they hadn't made that joke or I didn't accidentally have my foot on the blanket, I wouldn't be in this situation. That's the last thing.
Yeah.
So this person cannot take accountability for things that they did, because it would be completely different if, let's say, that they stood up and they were dressed like how we are, right? You're wearing a shirt, you're wearing leggings, whatever. And let's say that something happens where like you bend over and the shirt rips or something rips and everyone's like, ha ha ha. That's different because that's something unexpected. And also, you're adult. If I was in a meeting in my profession and somebody's pants split, I would turn off my camera immediately
and start laughing.
And on the side, I would text and be like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm not going to actively see that person outside and say like, oh yeah, I saw that. Like, there's a certain kind of like,
you pretend it doesn't exist. It didn't happen.
Correct.
We're just going to move on with life and
so
giggle about it to myself and alone.
Clearly cannot take accountability because, again, if I'm here again, Like you're my best friend. I'm sitting here with leggings because God forbid something happens. You don't want to see my kookie. You don't want to you don't need. Not that I wouldn't show it to you. Not that I would show it to you, but it's like you just don't need to see it, right? So yeah, no. So you think this person's the asshole?
I kind of do, because that is a completely preventable event from happening.
1 billion % it's preventable. If you knew you were going to be in a meeting on camera, like put some pajama pants on, like pajama
pair
pants,
of shorts, gym shorts, boxer shorts. I guess they did say boxers, but I guess women can wear boxers.
Still, yes. Do you have one more, or is this it?
I thought we're only doing 3 each, and we're at like a little over an hour already. So
yeah. All right. Well,
but hey, there's always room for a part 2.
Listen, we should do part 2 of the guest. We'll bring Lindsay.
Thank goodness.
So anyway, dear listeners, we promise we won't leave you hanging. We say that now, but then I could win the lotto next week. No, because actually, if I win the lotto,
you win the lotto, that's all we're doing.
That's all we would do. I don't know why I said that. That's all we would do is this podcast.
We're not making money off of this now.
No. But if you
guys would like to sponsor us by any means,
please
reach out to us at heatherandsteven@gmail.com.
Very much so, yes. And if you have suggestions, like, let us know, y'all. And if you've ever had an "Am I the asshole" situation in your personal life, let us know what it is. Maybe we'll do
a mini episode of people doing theirs. Oh, I love that.
That's a good idea. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Yes, please. All right, we're going to go on social media and do that. All right, friends. Peace out.
Till next time.
Peace up, A-Town down.
Bye.
Just 'cause she danced for dough, no, that don't make her a